Welcome to Daily Tax Minute. This is Tony Novak here to share a few points on saving taxes and staying out of tax trouble. Today's topic is the evils of S corporations. And of course, I picked titles and headlines to attract attention, maybe even to draw a little bit of viewership. But S corporations have been alternately praised and condemned in small business and tax media. And when I say media nowadays, that pretty much means social media, where most of the action happens and where most of us spend some time each day. So lately, I notice a pattern of S corporations being condemned and blasted by tax professionals. And we're going to cover just one item as to why that is. Now, one of the points about an S corporation is it is a separate legal entity where the transactions flow through to the individual. So the relationship, the financial relationship between the owner and the corporation is obviously of interest to the IRS and tax authorities. One of the most basic principles of operating an S corporation is that you are an employee of that corporation and need to be paid a salary, a reasonable salary for your work and trade for your work. If not, then the entire concept makes no sense from a government point of view. So what we describe, the term that we use in the tax community is reasonable compensation. When there's a reasonable compensation problem, that means that the owner is not taking a reasonable salary and paying taxes, wage taxes on that, which is what the government wants to keep Social Security and social programs moving along. So fairly recently, and I didn't bother to look up the dates again, but there's a recent federal tax case, I think it was December, where the government went and found a S corporation where the owner was not taking reasonable compensation. They were letting it all the income that the business made flow through to a dividend, that is a passive income on the owner's tax return. That's a great way to minimize taxes. Unfortunately, it's not legal, and the IRS does take it seriously. But this is where it gets interesting. Then the IRS looked to see that the tax preparer, a CPA, had a whole bunch of these. I think the report said 20 of these businesses that were all in the similar situation. That's a little bit much to be a coincidence. So the IRS dug further, actually opened at some point a criminal investigation and found out that this CPA was saying, hey, the law says you must take reasonable compensation, but you're not, so I'm documenting it in this letter. The risk is on you. So normally, tax professionals, that is, when we notice that there's something not right, we do have to disclose, and if we're smart, we do it in writing, obviously, for that purpose. However, if we then ignore the issue, knowing that it is a not sustainable, not legal position, and sign the tax return anyway without any further disclosure, that crosses the line into a criminal act for the CPA, the tax preparer. And in this case, the fines were substantial, mounted up into the hundreds of thousands of dollars for all of the years and all of the tax returns that this illegal position was taken. So the point of this story is twofold. One is that we, that is tax pros, really do have to be careful that sometimes our neck really is out on the line. And so when we act cautiously, these are the types of issues as to why. And the second point is to emphasize that if you have an S corporation, you have to take reasonable salary or you're going to wind up in pretty big trouble. Would love to hear your thoughts, comments, feedback if you've ever been exposed to this issue. I'm available on social media and easy to reach But if you want to talk one-on-one, I welcome that also. Find me on taxproblems.cpa. I'll be back tomorrow with another Tax Minute.